Gary Tabor, welcome to the FFA for 2018. You're the founder and executive director of the Centre for Large Landscape Conservation, and you've just been talking to the forum about synergistic management of agriculture and natural systems. It's quite a mouthful.
Yes.
Can you sum up for us a snapshot of the real thrust, the view and the experience, your expertise, and what you brought to the forum today?
Well, the issue is that can the farmer and the conservationist be friends? And I believe that they can. The reality is that both farming and nature conservation are facing the same challenges: fragmentation, climate change. And instead of working at odds, is there a way that we can figure out solutions together in the 21st century? So the Forum for Agriculture provides a safe space for this conversation. And the session I was at kind of explored everything from more biodiversity conservation on ag lands to can we have ag land support more nature connectivity so that protected areas can be connected in conservation networks.
What kind of feedback did you get? Because you said, those two sides have been polarized, but now I think there is a moment where we come together and forums like this allow us to come together and have open debate.
Maybe climate change is the driver, and maybe the fact that people now realize we live on a finite planet, that I think people are open to having these conversations where we can talk about things that we share in values. I come from Montana, and we have a saying, we work with the 80-20 rule. So when you're dealing with these subjects that can divide you, you generally work where you can align yourself, the 80% of the things that we share. So I believe this forum provides a safe space for that 80%. Now, is there going to be conflict in some places? Yes. But I believe you can dwell on the conflict but not deal with the solutions, and I believe this forum is allowing us to talk about what that solution set is.
What did you hear that was new today? I mean, one of the things that came up was infrastructure design.
Yep.
And I think you said it's been Neanderthal up till now. So that. But another theme that we're hearing today is how, if we want to talk about hunger, we should talk to the malnourished. We should go to farmers to talk about how we can preserve more and produce more. And you'd concur with that?
Yeah. Well, I believe that hunger is a symptom of poor land management and distribution, and there's multi other factors involved as well, but. The reality is that we're always treating the symptoms of these problems and not stepping back and looking at them in a more holistic sense. So the conversation today is that when we look at agriculture and when we look at conservation, we look at this in such a narrow way. We don't see the whole elephant, and we're making decisions based on our compartmentalized sense of looking at the world.
How do you think the debate went between land sparing and land sharing? Because that's where it ended, and There was lively debate there today.
As I said before, I think those are it's a straw man's argument. It's put up there to look at the extremes of whether you can have an integrative approach to looking at biodiversity and agriculture, or do you have to separate them in kind of a Cold War fashion. And I believe that land sparing, land sharing is truly just a tool to allow us to understand the realities and limitations with both kind of approaches. I mean, it's not like you're on the land sparing team versus the land sharing team. It's really about setting up a dichotomy to have a discussion about the pros and cons of each situation.
Gary Tabor, thanks very much for contributing, and enjoy the rest of the forum.
Thank you very much. That was great.